Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again. It's Monday, a little bit of an unscheduled upload. I hope you had a nice Father's Day yesterday for those of you that qualify for that holiday. There was something that I wanted to talk about, and that is if you're new to the channel or just tuning in, I set up a pulley system from my attic down to the ground floor, 3 floors down, to try and get some things from my attic down to the bottom floor, like records and heavy equipment. I used a pulley system, which is just like a clothesline system. The problem is that I wasn't happy because I thought it was a little bit bulky, a little bit excessive, too many things, and I had to use a turnbuckle to tension the rope every time, even though I used a low stretch rope. So I was always thinking, there's got to be better ways to do it. And you always have to tweak whatever you're doing. So I said, I want to go to a single line system, and this way I can have a little drag line to pull the bucket right up. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. It worked out, and I came up with a couple things, and I've been working it out, and I think I have it down pat. Let me show you what I'm talking about, and we'll get to that right now. Now, my first design had, like I said, a clothesline system where we had one continuous loop of line. We had the basket on here, and we had 2 big pulleys, one at each end to facilitate the rounding of the rope. Problem is, like I said, it was just too much. I wanted to eliminate, and there's an old saying, say KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. I wanted to make it as simple as I could. I had big turnbuckles up here to tighten it up, and down here. So now, this is what I was wanting to do, and that is a single line from the pole in the front to my attic window. I only need 2 small pulleys instead of the big pulleys over there. I need 2 small ones just to have the basket right on. And this is a trailing rope that'll be, it'll slow down the basket as it's coming down with a little bit of friction from my leather gloves. And then when it gets down here, I can pull it back up easily. It's a much easier system. Let's try it out. Now, instead of having the big pulleys, I can have these smaller pulleys that'll just split and fit over the line like this, and 2 clips hold it on. And this is a much easier system, I think, for us to use. And there are different, I can have bigger pulleys if I wanted to for heavier loads. I always wanted to try wire rope on this project here, or cable. So I bought some 1/4-inch stainless steel cable. This is quite heavy, but it's very strong. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put some, we have to terminate it at the end with a loop. And we're going to use what's called a thimble. This is a thimble here, you can see. We'll use a thimble, and we're going to use these screw-on cut. Crosby is the popular brand that makes these Crosby clips, and you can see what they look like here. These are stainless too. The Crosby ones I think are forged and galvanized, but you see here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to install these on here, because it's not just haphazard. There is an actual way to do it. Now, first thing we do, because these loosen up during shipping, we're going to cut off about 1 inch or so. We're going to tape this up and cut it off using a cutoff wheel. Okay, we have wrapped a couple pieces of tape around it here, and we're going to use the cutoff wheel, and I'm going to hold it this way so you get a better view of it. We're going to cut it right near the middle. Now you can see that was real time, and you can see how quickly it goes through it, and what a nice clean cut you get out of it. It's hard to cut with clippers. The next step after you cut your fresh end is you want to measure. Now there's a chart for different thicknesses of cable. This is 1/4 inch, so the minimum distance, it's called turn back distance, is 4 3/4 inches. So we measure 4 3/4 inches, and we put a mark here. You see that mark? From 4 3/4 inches. Now I'll show you what we do. Now with that mark, what you're going to do is you're going to bend this cable around. Your thimble is going to go here, and that mark is going to be at the end of the thimble. Okay, now it's a little hard to bend this cable. You'll see here, it just it takes a little bit of, especially since it's so new. So we're going to bend this here, and that mark has to be at the end of the thimble. Okay, and here's that end that we have. So remember, you're going to bend this around and put that mark. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the clips on. I'm going to show you how we're going to put them. The first clip we're going to put on the back here, okay? And when you're doing this, this is important. You're going to hear an expression a lot of old timers know already. But there's two ends. There's a dead end, which is this one, because it leads nowhere. And there's a live end. This is this one that leads all the way to the end of the cable. And this here, your clip, has a U-bolt. And this bottom piece here on the bottom is called the saddle, okay? Because it looks like a saddle that would go on a horse. And there's an old expression that everybody knows in the cable industry, and it's never saddle a dead horse. Meaning, this is the dead end, so you always want the U to go on there, not the saddle. The saddle goes on this side here, the live side. So never saddle a dead horse. So let me just put these on quickly and snug them up a little bit. Okay, now the first time you do this, you're going to feel like you need an extra hand or something. So don't be afraid to use your vise and put a punch or something in there to help you, okay? Now, this is what we have. You could see here, this is a done right. It's 2 clamps, which is the minimum you're supposed to have on here. Actually, more clamps you'd think would be stronger, but you don't really need it with smaller cable. In fact, it could damage the cable. So just go with what they tell you according to the size. This size says 2 clamps. Now what you do is we used a nut driver here to snug it down to get these clamps in here. We're just double checking. They're just snug with the nut driver, okay? Because anytime you get to use a nut driver is a good day. Now, remember what we said. This has to be at least a saddle apart from the end. So we have that. We're good there. The thimble's in there nice and tight. It can't come out. And now what we're going to do is we're going to torque these down. Very important. Again, we look at the chart, and the chart says these have to be torqued down to 15 foot-pounds. Now, what's important is you got to go back and forth. You don't want to torque one and then just go back and forth and make sure that they're equal. And let's do that now. Now, you can see here I put 4 blocks of wood here on each side of the cable so it don't try and twist it out to torque it down. And you can see here I got 15 pounds exactly. Okay, here's the single cable system. Check out this up here. There's our hookup. There's our single strand wire. And you can see it go straight down, follow it down, all the way to that post. See? Now, the beauty of this is that we can put it on here, load it onto the table. Then I take this clip, hook it up to the pulley up here, and lower it down. Let's do our test. Now you can see the difference. This is the cable, how much space it takes up compared to the rope. Look at all this. Okay, now our last version 3.0 will be this. And this is synthetic rope. It's a very special rope, used a lot in winches today. It's super lightweight, super strong, much stronger than steel. And this is called HMPE, high modulus polyethylene. Now, this rope here, you can see the way it's braided, you can see it's kind of loosely braided, but this stuff is super strong, even hard to cut. The benefits of this, super lightweight, right? Less than 3 pounds compared to this. Very easy to handle because you don't have to worry about getting stuck, things like that. Some of the drawbacks, you can't leave it out in the sun forever because the sun will degrade it. It also can be abraded on rocks, things like that, but these are fantastic. If it should snap, you know, when cable snaps, you got to be careful because the kinetic energy that's built up in cable can cut you in half, you know. Whereas when this stuff snaps, it just falls to the ground. Really amazing stuff. And price-wise, it's not too bad. The cable, this 100 foot of this cable, 1/4 inch, cost about $58, where this 100 foot roll cost about $48. So it's comparable. But it's super lightweight. We're going to try this out, and because the stretch is big for us, you know, how it's going to stretch. So what we got to do is we got to measure it out and cut cut it. And look at this nice thimble. These thimbles are real nice. You see, they're captive. So I got a couple of those thimbles that we're going to incorporate on the other end. Look at that. That's beautiful, right? Much better than the open one. So we're going to measure it out, and we'll see what kind of stretch we get out of this. One thing I forgot to mention is the breaking strength or working load for different materials. This here is 6,500 pounds. That this is will support 6,500 pounds. This is 10,000 pounds. So right there, it's an amazing, amazing product. Okay, we measured it out. Now I'm going to show you can't use a knot with this. It's too slippery to knot. And also, if you do put a knot in it, it can lower the tensile strength by 40 to 50%. So you don't want to put knots in this. What you have to do is you have to splice it. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Now, this is the center of where we want our hook to be held on, right here between these two lines, okay? What you want to do is measure about 15 inches, because it's got to be 50 to 60 times the thickness of this is 1/4 inch. So we're going to go down about 15 inches over to here, and we're going to cut it there. Now, to cut it, you have to wrap it with tape and use a really sharp utility knife to cut through this. So we'll wrap it with tape and cut it. Next thing we're going to do once we cut the rope, okay, remember here's where we want it to wind up. We're going to thread it through our thimble. This one here, you have to thread it through first because it is closed. And we'll leave the tape on to do that. Now thread it through, and we're going to pull it until we get that section into, you see those two lines? We want that to line up with the middle here. Okay? There's 1, 2, those two lines right there. Want that right to be with the middle. There we go. Okay, now that's just the length we want. Now, to thread this, what we're going to do to splice it is we're going to come under here, and this is a little trick I learned. And you see this? I have this is a nail. I just cut the head off here, the head, and then I smoothed out here. I cut the tip off, but I just made it smooth. Not that it's so sharp that it catches on anything, and I'll show you why this really helps. They sell expensive fids to do this, but I'm not going to be doing that many. So I'm going to take this tape off, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Now, this is the end of the rope. What you're going to do is you're going to separate it a little bit, okay? You want to go back a couple inches here, and we're going to pull it apart a little bit, okay? And the reason you're going to do this is because we want this to be tapered, so it almost disappears within the rope. Okay, so we're going to pull it off, separate it a little bit, and you can see this rope is just made of a bunch of different strands. And we're going to take these two here. We're going to cut these two off. Now, this is very hard to cut, even with sharp scissors. So, you know, be prepared if you don't have sharp scissors. But we're going to, you see what I mean? It almost feels like you're, it's hard to cut through. But we're going to cut that there. Then we're going to move up a little bit. We're going to take 2 more strands, and we're going to cut these 2, and then we're going to work our way up and cut 2 more here and 2 more here so that it tapers down. I cannot emphasize how difficult this stuff is to cut. I mean, it is just, forget it. You need super sharp. This is the kind of thing you use a scalpel for. But you see what I did? I just tapered this down. It'll disappear inside the rope. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this nail, okay, and we're going to put it in the middle here, okay, towards the end. And I'm just going to run some tape around here, okay, just tape it like that, and you'll see what that looks like. Okay, you can see what we did here. We taped it so it's just that'll pass through easy. Now we're going to go down about a ½ inch or so underneath here, underneath this loop. We're going to separate it. You saw how easy it was to separate, right? And we're going to pass this through. You see how easy it goes through now? We're going to pass this through here like this, okay? And then when you pass it through, you're going to straighten it out a little bit. And then we're going to go down a little bit further, another 3/4 of an inch down, the opposite way. We passed it through this way. Now we're going to go the opposite way, this way here, okay? Passing it through. So you went in one way, out the other, okay? See that? Now we're going to go in this way again, but we're not going to go all the way through. We're going to go through the middle of the rope and feed it all the way down, because this rope will, when you squeeze like this, you can open it up and get it through the middle. So we're going to go down about 3/4 same way right here, and we're going to feed this down through the middle, Okay, you got to kind of work it. You see I'm feeding it through? Feed it through. And keep watching it. If you see it pop out, pull it back out. You want it to go through the middle. And we're going to work it down. See, you might have to move it up, you know, open this up a little bit so that it slides easy. But you see how we're working it all the way down. And we're going to do that until we use up all this rope. Okay, you can see I fed this all the way through here, down past that 15-inch mark. Now I'm going to pull this through, okay, just pull it through the middle of this rope here, slide this back, and we're going to take off all this tape, okay? We're going to take this tape off, exposing that nice taper we made. Now we pulled the tape off our homemade fid here. And we're just going to slide this through. You see, like a snake. It's going to pull that. It's going to fall right in between this jacket here. You're going to work it down. Pull this down like this. Move it back and forth. Slide your hand down like this. And you can see what's going to look like. It's going to fall all the way until it's going to disappear. Okay? And you just work it back and forth. And you see, that's your splice. You see that? That's the way. That's the only way you can join this together. Now that won't go anywhere. That's good for thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. Whereas if you put a knot in it, it would you'd be in trouble. But see that? Look at that, nice and neat, spliced all the way through here. You don't even see where it is, and because we tapered it, it tapers nicely down into the rope. That's the way we do it. Okay, 3.0. Here it is. Straight down. Look at that. Tight. Now, because many of our operations will be at night, I had to add a light over our work area. Okay, so in closing, there was some good information there today in case you have to ever run some wire rope. Wire rope is a great thing to keep in your back pocket for things in your shop and whatever that you could use. And also for that synthetic winch line, which is really strong, really good, very hard to cut. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll be back on Wednesday with our regular episode. So have a great day. Take care now. Bye-bye.